The first time I saw her, she was nothing more than a shadow behind an energy field, a strange silhouette in a cell not meant for any human. The prison I had infiltrated wasn't made of stone or steel. It was carved into an asteroid, orbiting the dying red star of Kara 9. Its halls hummed with machines older than my entire colony, and its guards were hybrids of flesh and circuitry, their thoughts locked in with the facility's AI overseer. I hadn't come for her. My mission was simple: break into the outpost, steal the navigational core hidden deep inside, and make it out alive before the warden AI woke to my presence. But when I passed her cell, I froze. Her eyes met mine through the shimmering field, pale silver, with a faint glow as though they had caught the star's last light and held onto it. Her features were humanoid but sharper, ethereal. Dark lines traced her skin in symmetrical patterns, not tattoos but something alive, shifting faintly as if in rhythm with her breathing. "Human," she whispered, her voice resonating strangely, carrying more weight than sound should. "You don't belong here." I should have kept walking. Every second in that labyrinth brought me closer to discovery. But I found myself saying, "Neither do you." The prison break. The cell's console was written in a language I didn't recognize, but the prison was old, and old systems always had seams. I slid a spike from my belt, connected it to the panel, and ran an override. Sparks leapt, the field flickered, and suddenly the glow surrounding her dissolved with a soft sigh. She stepped forward, taller than me by half a head, her movements fluid, almost weightless. She wasn't shackled, but I could sense she'd been here a long time. There was tension in the way she held herself, like every step was measured. "Why were you locked up?" I asked, keeping my pistol raised. Her expression didn't change. "Because they fear what I am." Not the most comforting answer. Still, when the alarms began to pulse through the halls, I didn't hesitate. I handed her a blade from my pack. She didn't thank me. She just took it and moved like she'd been waiting centuries for the moment. The escape was chaos. Hybrid guards surged in, metal limbs clattering against the floor. I shot and ran while she danced among them, her blade flashing arcs of cold light. She didn't kill them, she disabled them, striking joints, severing wires, rendering them useless but alive. I couldn't tell if it was mercy or disdain. When we reached my ship, the Halcyon's Edge, I expected her to vanish into the stars without a word. Instead, she followed me aboard, silent and watchful, as though she had decided her fate was now tied to mine. The first night. Her name, she told me later, was Ceres. She didn't explain what species she was, nor how long she'd been locked in that asteroid prison. She spoke little, eating only fragments of the nutrient packs I offered, and spent most of the voyage staring at the viewport as though the stars themselves were old acquaintances. That first night, I collapsed in my quarters, exhaustion swallowing me whole. But when I woke, groggy, stiff, hand instinctively on my pistol, I found the door cracked open. Ceres was there, sitting cross-legged on the floor outside my room. She wasn't asleep. Her silver eyes were open, fixed on the dark corridor, like a sentinel standing guard. "You don't have to do that," I muttered. She tilted her head, her patterns shifting faintly across her skin. "It is not for you. It is for me." Cryptic. But she stayed there until morning. And the next night. And the night after that. Fragile alliance. I should have dropped her off at the nearest trading hub, collected my payment for the navigational core, and cut ties. But something about her, the way she paced the ship like she knew its bones better than I did, the way she listened when I spoke though she rarely answered, made it harder to imagine the ship without her. It wasn't friendship, not yet. It was survival. I didn't know what enemies she had, or why she thought sleeping outside my room was safer than the empty crew quarters. But a part of me trusted her more than I trusted anyone else. That trust was tested faster than I expected. 3 weeks after the escape, we were intercepted in deep space by a patrol vessel bearing the insignia of the Dominion, the vast interstellar authority that had quietly absorbed half the galaxy. Normally, a ship like mine would have been ignored. But their sensors locked onto us with frightening precision, and they hailed me before I could jump to faster than light. "This is Dominion enforcement," the voice crackled over comms. "You are carrying a fugitive. Surrender the woman and you may go free." I looked at Saris. She didn't flinch, didn't plead. She only said, "If you give me to them, they will erase you too." I believed her. The fight that followed nearly tore the Halcyon's edge apart. Saris sat at the weapons console, her hands flying across controls she had never seen before as though the systems answered to her. Plasma fire lanced through the void, shredding the Dominion's shields. When they tried to board, she met them with that same terrifying grace. But this time she didn't hold back. When the last Dominion trooper fell, she stood over the body, her eyes glowing brighter than ever, her breathing steady. "You see now," she said softly. "They will never stop." The truth revealed. I confronted her after the battle. "Who are you really? What did you do to make the Dominion keep you locked away like that?" For a long time she said nothing. Then she sat across from me in the dim light of the mess hall, and the patterns on her skin pulsed as if alive. "I am the last of my kind," she said. "Once we walked among the stars as guardians, shaping the currents of life, nudging civilizations when they strayed too close to ruin. The Dominion calls it interference. They call us dangerous because we see what they do not want seen." She leaned forward. "They feared us, so they destroyed us. I was captured, held in that prison for centuries, waiting, hoping someone would come who could not be bought, could not be bent." Her gaze pierced me. "You freed me. That makes you part of this, whether you wish it or not." Should have scared me. Instead, I felt something else. The weight of destiny pressing down, a current dragging me into depths I hadn't chosen. Shadows in the dark. After that night, the chase never stopped. Dominion ships appeared where they shouldn't have, like hounds on a scent. They weren't tracking me, they were tracking her. And still, every night, she lay outside my room. At first, I thought it was mistrust, that she didn't trust me enough to sleep unguarded. But one night, unable to sleep, I opened the door quietly and asked, "Why here? Why not your own quarters?" She looked at me with those glowing eyes. "Because I dreamed for too long in that prison." The silence was endless. The void pressed in, whispering that I was alone forever. "Here near you I hear life. Your pulse, your breathing. It keeps the void away." For the first time her voice cracked, just slightly. That night I didn't close the door. I let her keep watch, though I knew she didn't need to anymore. The final stand. It couldn't last. The Dominion cornered us near the gas giant Nereos, deploying an entire cruiser to cut off our jump. The Halcyon's edge rattled under the barrage, shields failing, hull integrity screaming warnings. Sarah stood beside me at the helm. Shaken.